Hello and welcome back. Today's topic, it's going to be one of those what if type of readings for fun. We're going to ask, what would it be like if you are in a relationship with them? So think about a person that you have in your mind. And we have three options or objects to choose from. This is group number one. This mini honey dipper. Group two, we have the Amethyst face roller. And finally, for group number three, this cute unicorn keychain. Alright, so take your pick. Again, this is group one, group two, group number three. Let's begin. Welcome to your reading, group number one. Let's get started. Spirit guides, archangels, and angels, please provide some guided messages for the collective which chose group number one. You have here Two of Pentacles in reverse. Next, you have here Queen of Swords. Seven of Pentacles. Five of Swords. Ooh. Five of Cups, okay. However, we have 10 of Cups. Alright. Bottom of the deck, you have the Emperor in reverse. Alright, so we're seeing here Swords energies, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. We also have here water signs, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. We have Earth, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. And if it's actually fire, we have Aries. Alright, so what would it be like if you are actually in a relationship with this person in your mind, or if you will be in a relationship with them? So remember, this is just for fun. It's a possible, experience that might happen for you if you will be in a relationship with this person. And so what I'm actually getting here, based on the cards they actually got, group number one, it's going to be a challenge. I'll be very honest. You know me, I don't sugarcoat things, okay? It will be challenging, but that's not to say that this relationship can't work. Okay, I feel that it would just require a lot of patience even, as well as compromise. All right, that's what I'm seeing here, because I'm actually picking up that there might be that really, pretty huge difference between you and this person in such a way that maybe this person is kind of like either slow to move, or I'm picking up that for some of you, somebody in this connection is a little bit emotionally immature, and the other person is actually more mature, more straightforward, more sure of what they want. However, the other person, whether this is actually one of you, all right, is kind of like a bit immature, all right, and somebody's kind of like a bit wishy-washy even. All right, somebody in this connection is having a hard time deciding what is it that they want. All right, and so that's the difference between you and this person. All right, whether one of you is actually more sure of what they want. If I want white, I want white, and the other person's kind of like, I'm not sure. Yeah, I want white now, but tomorrow I might want black. Things like that. That's really what I'm picking up here. Another thing that I'm actually getting is that there is going to be a challenge in terms of communication as well. All right, so maybe somebody in this connection is not really expressive to, is having a hard time, again, being straightforward. Maybe one of you is more, just like what I said, more straightforward, more honest, more transparent, and the other person is kind of like not. All right, but here's the thing, even though you may not kind of like meet on some, some point or in some areas, I'm getting here with compromise, all right, with proper communication, that's still going to be, working for you guys, all right? Or this relationship can still work. I'm just getting here that, yeah, with the Five of Swords, though, all right, there might be some sort of like challenge here because of somebody doesn't want to give in, somebody doesn't want to admit their mistakes, all right? That's another thing that I'm actually picking up here, because the Emperor is also in reverse. If it's actually an upright, that is suggesting to us that this person or whoever it is, in this connection is actually going to be taking ownership, all right, for their mistakes, or being more responsible, all right, handling, the things that they have, committed in a way that is mature, all right? But what I'm actually getting, though, is that there might be some challenge around that area, okay? Somebody's kind of like, no, you're right, or I'm right, you're wrong, or I'm also getting that for some of you, right? But I'm seeing here, though, that with this Ten of Cups, I feel this is suggesting to me that despite of these challenges, because there's no such thing as a perfect relationship anyway, right? If you guys can work on it together, like the both of you are willing participants to make this relationship work, it can still have this Ten of Cups, meaning you can still have that very beautiful future together. You can still build a beautiful and really long-lasting, deep type of connection, all right? But it might take some time. With the Seven of Pentacles here, I feel it would require a lot of patience as well, and balance, okay? Because I noticed Seven of Pentacles is also a card of balance, by the way, and then you got the Two of Pentacles too, but this one is actually in reverse. So there's some sort of like, yeah, some imbalance in this connection that the both of you needed to work on to make it work. Wow, group number one. Let's actually pull it more. Let's see. What would it be like if you will be in a relationship with them, or if you are in a relationship with them, let's just say. Let's see. You got your colors and numbers. Ooh, okay. Now this makes sense. Crazy. I'll tell you why, okay? Wow. Let's pull up one last card. All right, and then you got by the book. Okay, makes sense. This is just going to be an extra message from Spirit, but I feel that these three are actually connected. That's what I'm hearing right now. And I'll tell you why. Because first you got the colors and numbers, and it actually says here, what feelings are you struggling to acknowledge? Okay, and then you got here vulnerability, and it says open your heart, allow yourself to be tender. So I'm also getting that challenge in this connection, though. If you will be in a relationship with them, you may actually expect that these are the experiences, all right, or possible experiences in which one of you is kind of like struggling to acknowledge, again, either their mistake, because I saw that earlier when I actually took a glimpse of the Five of Swords card that you actually got. And again, Five of Swords is, again, clash of wills, clash of egos, all right? Somebody's actually not wanting to admit defeat even. That's actually what I'm hearing. But for some of you, it can be that there's going to be a challenge around somebody's not wanting to be vulnerable, somebody's actually not opening up, somebody's kind of like struggling to acknowledge their feelings. And even with this M Rama card, I'm going to read this intuitively. If you take a look at this, this mermaid is trying to reach out to this dolphin over here, all right? So I'm just kind of like picking up disconnect between you and this individual, all right? So that's actually the challenge, or the possible challenge that might occur if you are in a relationship with them. Now, that's entirely up to you guys, all right? And again, I'm not saying this can't work, all right? There's no such thing as, just because we're seeing all of these things, there's no such thing as it's impossible, or that, this relationship is going nowhere. It depends, all right? With proper, understanding, as well as you working together as one, not just one person doing the work, not just one person always giving in, then yeah, it can actually still work, okay? And then you got the buy the book card, and with the buy the book card, what I'm actually picking up here is that somebody in this connection is also kind of like sticking to rules, all right? Somebody's having a hard time kind of like being more flexible or to bend a little bit. I'm picking up ego. All right, so that's another thing that you and this person needed to watch out for as well. Should you both still want, to grow this relationship or make it stronger? Because again, like what I always say, there's no such thing as a fairy tale romance. There will be bumps in the road. There will be challenges. There's so many things that you will be discovering as you are in a relationship with someone that you have in your mind. Okay, flower spirit. Okay, remembrance. All right. You have believe and succeed, and then you got here helpless and hopeless. Okay. All right. So what I'm actually getting here, if you will be in a relationship with this person, again, I'm not saying that this can't be successful, all right? You got the believe and succeed card. However, we've seen those challenges earlier, as well as I'm picking up that, again, with this Eight of Swords energy, there's that really stuck or stagnant energy that I'm picking up. Either it's because of somebody is kind of like moving a bit too slow, and one person is actually more direct, more fast, more swift. If you noticed earlier, there's two different elements, kind of like one is more of the swords energy, and swords are swift or fast energy, and the other person is actually more of like the slow, reserved type of energy. So that's actually the difference between you and this person. And so again, like what I said, it would take a lot of effort and hard work, and it should be the both of you, all right, really working on this, communicating about all of these things, instead of just one person always, nodding their head and okay, I'm just going to be patient with you all the time. Remember, you're still a human being, all right? We all get exhausted at one point. So it should be the both of you here, really discussing things, and having this very meaningful and healthy conversation, in such a way that you don't have to be at each other's throat, all right, pointing fingers at each other. I'm saying that because I'm just concerned when I saw the Five of Swords, okay? Anywho, but I'm actually getting here, though, that, yeah, once you were able to surpass all of these challenges or these trials, I feel that this relationship can still blossom into something much more deeper, something much more stronger type of relationship, okay? I feel as well that there is also a message right now from Spirit that if whatever it is that has happened to the past, one of you should actually, just move forward, all right? Not bring up any issues from the past or allow past to kind of like hold you guys back, okay? That's another tip that I'm actually seeing here. Wow, okay. I know, it's quite challenging. That's actually what I'm seeing in your cards. You know me, I'm just going to give it to you straight. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. But like what I said, I'm not saying this relationship is impossible for it to work, okay? Nobody's saying that, all right? It's just that there are some potential challenges in this connection that you should be aware about. Yeah, you got your protecting treasure. Great achievement. Gateway. Your dreams need a practical plan. Now, this is really, really beautiful. Let's move on to the beautiful stuffs, okay? Because on this reading, we're not just going to identify the gooey stuffs, all right? If you will be, or let's just say you are in a relationship with this person in your mind. Because again, for the end time, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. There would be some challenges, okay? And that's the reality of things. Now, for the gooey stuffs, though, or the great things about this relationship is that I feel that if you will be in a relationship with this individual that you have in your mind, you guys will be, really supporting each other, most especially around your dreams. For instance, maybe this is actually what you wanted to pursue. I feel that, this person's going to be very, supportive of your plans, supportive of your dreams, okay? That's what I actually love about this, connection. I feel as well that, somebody in this connection is really protective as well. This person would really see you, or it's the both of you seeing each other as, a very priceless treasure, all right? Like, this is my person, this is my man, this is my woman. I do everything to protect him or her. That's actually what I'm getting here. And then at the same time, there are so many things that you and this person would definitely be discovering, all right, as you go along, all right? Another thing that I'm also getting here for group number 1 is that, with this protecting treasure, and then you got the umbrella, again, I'm just picking up that there's also something about emotions, really, all right? Either this is, again, like what I said, this is part of the challenge in this relationship, because we've seen that earlier. Somebody's struggling to acknowledge their feelings. Somebody's not opening up. They don't want to be vulnerable. Again, I'm getting that very defensive energy just by looking at this image over here. All right. Like, she's defending herself from the rain. So I'm, picking up that could actually, be some sort of like, a challenge between you and this person, but that's not to say you can't work it out, all right? So let's see. Let's try to pull up another set of cards here. Yeah, see? Guarded. I was just talking about that. And he got the guardian and the gate. I can't believe this, you guys. So this is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Somebody's kind of like very defensive. Somebody's kind of like even afraid to take a chance or to take a risk. I feel those are the two different things, that I'm seeing here in this relationship. Like, you are polar opposites for some of you, not all of you. It's like you are more, let's just say this is you. You're more of like the risk taker. You're more of like the open and transparent, straightforward type of person. And the other person's kind of like very reserved, very shy, not wanting to talk, or is just not really willing to acknowledge their feelings. But then again, we have to acknowledge, the fact that we're just unique individuals. We have to also kind of like try to understand where that person is also coming from, okay? Because sometimes a person is behaving that way based on history, based on that person's, previous experience or how that person was brought up, all right? So I feel as well that at the same time, this is also requiring for the both of you to empathize, all right? And to really also understand where the other person is coming from. Why is this person behaving this way? Because I'm actually just getting here that, somebody in this relationship is kind of like very guarded, is not wanting to open up, not wanting to be vulnerable as well. Wow, let's see what else. You got the change, all right. Let's pull up another card. Trust. And then patience and planning. What did I tell you at the very beginning of this reading? All right. It's not to say that this relationship is really impossible for it to work. Nobody's saying that. Spirit is not saying that. Spirit is just telling you, or is kind of like showing you what are the potential challenges in this connection. And it would definitely require patience for both of you. Okay? Maybe, you guys are, let's just say this is the person who's actually behaving this way, all right? The person that you have in your mind. Again, we cannot expect the person to behave the same way as we are hoping for them to behave. That's the reality of things, though, all right? We are all unique individuals, and it's also not a responsibility even to change that person. Maybe to just give them some advice, all right? To help them realize, all right, the importance as well of these things. But at the end of the day, it's entirely up to them if they are willing to change those things. And when you change a certain habit or behavior, always remember that you're doing it not for that person alone. Most of all, you're doing it for yourself, because at the end of the day, this is for your own soul's growth. Okay, and then you got the trust here. So what I'm also getting here is that, again, I'm picking up a very guarded energy. Take a look at this. All right, we have this geese over here, or goose, all right, or baby goose, whatever. Okay, and this animal is kind of like trying to reach out to this little girl, but this little girl is kind of like, in a very large bubble. It's like he is trying to reach out to her. That's actually what I'm getting. Just like with the dolphin earlier and the mermaid, like she's also trying to reach out to him, but it's kind of like hard, because again, there is that very strong, guarded, and really protective energy coming from this person, whether this is describing you or whether this is describing the person that you have in your mind. Again, it can switch roles, okay? And at the same time, I'm also picking up, there's also something about trust issues for some of you, all right? That's another possibility. Maybe because of some past history, okay? Maybe they've done something and one of you, or you have done something, again, it can be switched, and one of you is kind of like not really, sure if they can actually trust, right? The situation again, because it might occur, it might happen. So it's kind of like leaving, somebody in this connection feeling a little bit suspicious as well. All right, let's try to pull up more. Very interesting reading for you so far, group number 1. I love this. Let's see. Getting to know each other, all right? Like what I said, you will be discovering more and more about each other as time goes by, okay? And then he got the clouds shape-shifting. Animal, okay. Kisses. Okay. All right. So don't get me wrong, there's actually a potential for this relationship to still be, successful, given that those are the challenges that we've identified. Like what I said, it's not impossible, but if the both of you are going to really, talk about this and really, pull up some effort, right, to make this relationship, grow stronger, it's possible to become a very, successful and long-lasting relationship, just like what I said with the 10 of Cups, okay? And I feel as well that part of what needs to kind of like to be worked on here in this relationship is that somebody in this connection needed to be much more open. Because it says here, as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And that's true, okay? Because I feel like, like what I said, somebody in this relationship is only kind of like sharing what they wanted to share. All right, how can you expect for a relationship to grow when you're not fully opening opening up, all right? When you're not really, being authentic even. That's another message I'm hearing right now from Spirit. So that person would only love you based on what you're showing them, right? So there's actually an issue around authenticity as well. For some of you, somebody needed to be a lot more comfortable, all right, to open up. And this is me. I'm showing you my true self, all right? And because of that, it would enable the relationship, or for the both of you to really deepen the relationship even more, all right? And even with this animal card, I'm going to read this intuitively. Birds are messengers, all right? There's something about communication here because this bird is actually biting on this heart-shaped symbol. So I'm just really getting here. There's something about expressing your love, all right? Showing or, really, acknowledging those feelings that you have. But maybe, like what I said, somebody's kind of like really guarded, like all their, guards are up. No wonder you got the Queen of Swords energy, all right? Kind of like, again, appearing either too intimidating or is just really not really sharing any information, all right? So I'm just kind of like getting that vibe in this relationship for some of you. However, you got your unconditional love, okay? And you got the patience card earlier. So yeah, I just feel that it would require a lot of patience, all right? Really understanding each other, being patient with each other. Always remember that love is patient and kind, okay? And you got the giving and receiving of affection. So again, there should be balance in this relationship. Once that balance was established in this relationship, oh my gosh, like what I said, it can go long term. You can even build a family with this person. I tell you that, all right? But yeah, there's a lot of love here in this relationship, even though there might be some challenges, such as one person is kind of like guarded, not really acknowledging their feelings, all right? But that's not to say that, whoever this is who's behaving that way is not going to change, all right? Again, change comes from within, and only the universe knows what's going to happen, all right? People change even over time, right? That you might be actually kind of like be surprised that the friend that you've had, like decades ago is a completely, totally different person now that you've seen them. So yeah, anything can happen, in other words, is what I'm trying to drive at. So yeah, I'm not saying that this is impossible for it to work, like what I said, but if you guys are going to be able to work on those differences, all right, because your cards are quite challenging, group number one, I'll be very honest with you, but if you guys are going to be able to work out on those issues that we've identified, or the challenges that we've identified in this relationship, then yeah, like what I said, it can still work, it can be successful, it can be long lasting, okay? And it will grow even more. Wow, let's see what else. Oh my gosh, I really love how everything is matching here. Oh boy. Somebody in this connection is really kind of like, not wanting to open up. No wonder, yeah, like what I said, you got the vulnerability card. You actually got the what are you struggling to acknowledge card. Wow. Yeah, there you go. You got the maturity card. So somebody in this relationship is a lot more mature, okay? I love how everything is matching here. And yeah, it's not to say that whoever the person in this relationship who's still not that emotionally mature and all that, it takes time. Always remember that. Maybe that's why I got the patience card. We cannot actually kind of like speed up the process, if you know what I mean. You got to honor the cycle, all right? Now it's entirely up to you. If you can't live up with that, or no way, I can't, just put up with it, then it's your free will, right? But I'm just really getting here, that's part of, the challenge in this relationship. There's a disconnect, or there's actually, some differences between you and this individual, which is why we're seeing these challenges. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Now this is nice. So what I'm actually getting here based on the cards I actually got, let's start off first with what I was just talking about, okay? Because that, came up many times for you, group number one, about opening up, all right? Somebody actually needed to be more comfortable to open up, to be more of themselves, all right? That it's okay to show who you truly are. Because like what I said, somebody in this relationship is a little bit guarded. It's like whatever it is that they're sharing is filtered. Like I'm just gonna share some certain information, not the entire, thing that's going on about my life, or, that's why I got the getting to know each other card. There is actually, an importance to that. If you and this person are really willing to get to know more about each other, ask some questions. What is this person's interest? What do you like? Things like that. That's just an example. Or you're just basically being open and honest with each other. My gosh, it will really enable this relationship to grow and deepen even more. However, the challenge here is that the other person's kind of like guarded, all right? Somebody in this connection is only going to share or, divulge some information that they just wanted to share, not really being open about themselves. And that's why you have to peel away the outer layers to find the inner core. So that's the challenge again. However, I feel like what I said, it's probably because of somebody is not that yet mature, okay? And that's why I got the patience card, all right? And maybe if this is you, is more like the mature one, there you go. That's the difference, right? Because the other person's not yet that mature, is not yet the emperor. And remember at the very beginning of this reading, if you still remember, you actually got the emperor in reverse, okay? And usually, this is basically suggesting to us that this person is not yet ready to kind of like take ownership of their mistakes or any responsibility, not taking action. That's another, thing that I'm seeing here for some of you. Another thing that I'm also picking up, there's something about trust, really. All right. Somebody's kind of like really suspicious here in this connection. Now, only take what applies because I'm picking up different energies. All right. Although some of it are really, for the entire, group number one. But I'm also getting here that for others of you, there's also something really about trust issues, all right? And because of some trust issues, and I can't actually blame why there's that trust issue going on in this connection for some of you, it's because of somebody in this connection is not opening up, just like what I said. So it's going to kind of like trigger the other person to really think that, hey, maybe this person is hiding something from me, all right? So let's just say you are in a relationship with this person and you're resonating with that, okay? That's something that you guys needed to watch out for, okay? Because I feel that there will be, somebody in this connection who's going to be a little bit suspicious, like, maybe this person's cheating on me. Maybe this person is actually hiding a lot from me. Because again, like what I said, somebody in this relationship is so guarded and is not opening up that much. And always remember, lack of communication, it actually bridges assumption. And so it might enable as well one of you to kind of like stalk or try to check out, their person's page. Like, what are you up to? Maybe you're hiding something from me. Let me check and dig into your emails. That's another thing that I'm also getting, okay, for some of you. However, with the right effort and determination to make this relationship work, again, it's not impossible for you guys to have the 10 of Cups, that really ultimate happiness and really bright future with each other, okay? So yeah, before we wrap things up, I love your reading, group number one. Let's pull up some random messages for you. Ask for help. Okay. All right. So let's start off with this one. So this is your message, group number one. It says here, ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. Okay, so there's love and support all around you guys. So if you're resonating with this, then this is the message that you needed to hear. That it's okay to ask for help. And you have to be open to receive help as well from the people who really loves you or the people that you really trust. Okay, and again, what do you really need? So there's also something about you opening up and telling somebody that you're close with. So maybe for some of you, it can also be the viewer who's having a hard time opening up, all right, and sharing what is really going on. Okay, because I don't know, just by looking at the message here, not for all of you though, all right, but I'm also getting that it can also be the viewer who's actually having a hard time really expressing themselves, telling somebody that, hey, I needed help, all right. So if you are resonating with that, then this is the message that you needed to hear, that it's okay to seek for help, that it's okay to open up, all right, and to be willing to accept support from the people that you truly trust, all right. And then you got this message here from the soulmate cards, and it says here, a profound transformation is taking place in your life. Be yourself. Oh my gosh, authenticity, right? We were just talking about that. How freaking crazy is this reading? You have much to offer the world by just being you. Your love has the power to transform all things, including your relationship and love life. Well, it can still be switch, all right? Maybe this is actually just an added, yeah, like a validation for some of you, because we've talked about that. Like, I can't believe this. Earlier, we were just, talking about some of the challenges in this relationship. Should you end up with them, or should you be in a relationship with this person that you have in your mind? Those are the potential challenges that you guys need to be aware about, all right? Some of you, you're aware about it, okay? Especially you already know who this person is, and maybe all of these things are the things that you also kind of like identified yourself, or you noticed that yourself. So yeah, I'm actually, getting here that this can be just, an additional message or a validation for some of you guys that somebody really needed to be themselves, to be authentic, all right? And yeah, to just be you. That's actually what I'm getting here. And at the same time, because of that, by being you, by being authentic, all right, it will actually transform everything in a very magical, in a very beautiful way, okay? So that's all I have for you, group number one. I just really love your reading. I love the synchronicities as well. And as always, I'll see you again next week. Love and light. Welcome to your reading, group number two. So you chose this face roller, this amethyst face roller. Let's actually find out from Spirit, what would it be like if you will be in a relationship with them, or if you are in a relationship with them, what the experience is going to be like, what are the potential challenges? Because again, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship, right? So let's get started now. Spirit guides, archangels, and angels, please provide some guided messages for the collective we chose, group number two. All right. Wow. Ten of Pentacles. You have here Queen of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, Ace of Cups, you guys. Whoa. And then you got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Two of Wands. And then Seven of Pentacles. Okay. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Swords. Alrighty. Wow, totally different energy from group number one. Because group one's reading, it's really challenging. And you know me, I don't sugarcoat things. I have to give it to them really, straight. But with you guys so far for group number two, not to say, all right, there's no challenges here for you guys if you will be in a relationship with this person or if you are in a relationship with this person. But I'm really getting a very good feel so far based on these cards. And by the way, we're seeing here a lot of earth energies, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, and then we have swords energies too. Aquarius, Libra, and then Gemini. All right, so what would it be like if you are in a relationship with this person that you have in your mind? Well, this can go long term, okay? Definitely. I'm seeing that. I feel as well that there might be also some differences between you and this person, especially around age. For some of you, not all of you, or it can be that one is a lot more mature than the other two. However, even if there's differences between you and this person, I feel that this can still work, okay? I love the fact they got the Ace of Cups. So Ace of Cups is actually also about unconditional love. That's actually what I'm getting. Somebody in this connection is going to be really understanding, all right? Somebody's really mature and is not really expecting way too much of the other person. I don't know why I'm hearing that right now. And I'm also getting here, though, that it is a relationship that can be really just grounded, all right, with the amount of earth energies, really grounded, really quiet, all right. However, somebody in this connection might be a little bit stubborn, okay? That's actually what I'm getting. There will be, some instances in which one of you is going to be a little bit irked or a little bit, frustrated because somebody's kind of like not wanting to learn, okay, from their mistakes, or either they are still doing the same things that they've done in the past. Like I'm hearing somebody saying, I thought we've talked about this, why you're still doing it, all right? I don't know why I'm hearing that right now for some of you. And somebody's also kind of like a slow mover as well, all right? That's another thing that I'm getting. But this can go long term, okay? I feel that this is a very balanced type of, partnership. There is definitely a possibility that this type of relationship is going to be harmonious, even though, of course, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. I feel it can still go long term. Especially that there's a possibility of you guys, having this giving and receiving type of relationship, which is one of the recipes, for a successful connection. And I'm also getting here as well that should you be in a relationship with this person that you have in your mind, there's going to be a lot of planning. It's not just all about love, love, love all the time. I feel that you and this person are really going to be trying to build a stronger, a much more stable future together, all right? Somebody in this connection is really thinking ahead with this Two of Wands, all right? What are my plans, all right? What's the next step? So I'm getting that somebody in this connection is kind of like embracing that energy. And yeah, I feel as well that family is really going to be a top priority between you and this person that you have in your mind, all right? Either, even if you let's just say you end up together, you build a family together, I feel that family is really going to be your top priority here. It's a close-knit family for some of you. Them introducing, you to their family, vice versa. That's actually what I'm getting here. I'm also picking up as well that for some of you, I'm hearing there's something about this love for pets. Okay, so that's another thing. Either you or this person you have in your mind is a pet lover, all right? And yeah, maybe you would actually treat your pets, let's just say you're still not yet, married, you still don't have kids, but you might treat your pets or your fur babies as if it's really your child. I don't know why I'm hearing that right now too. But yeah, so far, I'm actually picking up that this relationship can go long term. All right. It can be stable because you got the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is a legacy card in terms of stability or security. This is a really great card to get. Wow, I love this reading so far. My gosh, it's a totally different energy from group number one. So let's see what's next. You got magic. Honor the masculine. Wow, I love this. Imagine. The observer. Wow, this is very straightforward again. Okay. What I'm actually hearing with all of these cards, group number two, is that the relationship is going to be filled with a lot of support. Okay. Either one of you is kind of like a cheerleader or a great motivator, or the both of you just really encouraging each other, giving each other, you know, some support if they needed it, especially if one is feeling really low. So emotional support is also what I'm hearing right now for this pile. And another thing that I'm also getting here is that somebody's always kind of like watching the other person. I'm not picking up it's actually in a negative way, like somebody's always stalking, like what is my person doing? Is he or she cheating? But it can be for some of you in such a way that maybe somebody's either a little bit suspicious, all right, because I'm drawn to the moon over here as well, but that can be for just a few of you. But for the rest of you, I'm just getting here that is coming from a healthy space, that you're, you know, wanting to make sure that your person is actually okay, they're doing good, all right? Or it can be that you guys are going to text each other, are you home? Let's just say you're still in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, you're not living under one roof. So I'm getting that like somebody's always kind of like checking on the other person without being too smothering, okay? And yeah, there's respect here. That's what I love, all right? You got to honor the masculine here. So I feel as well that there's something about boundaries. Like we can actually, you know, check up on someone, but make sure we give them space, all right? It can also be an advice from spirit, all right? That maybe for some of you, there may be a tendency for one of you to be not really smothering, but it can actually make the other person feel as if that, hey, can you give me some time out? Or, you know, I appreciate the fact that you're always there for me and all that. But yeah, I'm getting, you know, that maybe somebody actually also is in need of some space. All right. That's another thing that I'm also getting here. All right. And I feel as well that, yeah, you and this person, my gosh, I'm hearing it right now. This is a very spiritual relationship. I won't be surprised if this person that you have in your mind is somebody that you have dealt with from a previous lifetime. Okay. Because I'm really feeling that. So let's see. Let's try to pull up more cards. Wow, totally different energy from group number one. Because group one's reading, I'll be very honest, is quite challenging. All right. Yep. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Success and growth. Beautiful. Service. Education. Oh my gosh. Wow. I love the synchronicity of this reading. And I love the energy, group number 2. So what I'm actually seeing here, let's actually start off with a hidden card, okay? And it says wisdom, elementals, fairy, and uncover. And so I'm actually going to take that keyword wisdom, okay? And then you got education here. So what I'm actually picking up very strongly when I saw that keyword was that, like what I said, somebody in this connection is more mature than the other. So I'm actually picking up that maybe whoever it is, who's actually more mature or even, you know, much more older than the other is the one who's kind of like going to be, handling, you know, the relationship. But that's not to say that they're going to take full control. That's not to say that they're not really going to respect the other person, okay? But I'm just really getting here because of this person's maturity, whether this is describing you or this other person that you have in your mind, is really going to be, sharing that as well, or putting that into play in this relationship. Maybe because, of course, they are well experienced. You know, they've been there, they've done that, all right? So I feel that there's going to be a lot of, you know, lessons even that you and this person are going to be learning from each other, all right? So, you know, even if, let's just say, that one is older, the other one is younger, or one is mature, the other person is not, that doesn't mean you can't learn from each other, all right? Always remember that we are all teachers and pupils. But I feel that based on the cards, I'm just, you know, saying here that somebody in this connection is more well-experienced, more mature, they've done this, they've done that. And so I feel that somebody in this connection is going to be really imparting that or really sharing that. And again, why am I saying sharing and, you know, and support? Because my gosh, you see here the service card and it says, I feel good when I can help others. So what did I say earlier? I actually just picked up earlier from Spirit that this is what they wanted me to tell you guys, that this relationship, you guys are really going to be like cheerleaders. You guys are really going to help each other, motivate each other. All right. When one is low. Yeah. It's a very, you know, supportive type of partnership. Okay. The only challenge that I'm seeing here is that there's also something about, somebody in this connection is a little bit stubborn, okay? So far, in terms of the challenges, I'm getting either, number one, there's something about being a little bit suspicious, or it can be not smothering, but maybe, you know, there should be space, is what I'm hearing. Like, yeah, we love each other so much, but can you give me space, okay? Can you give me, you know, 5 minutes of my time, me time? I don't know why I'm hearing that, okay? And then for others of you, I'm getting that somebody is kind of like a little bit, stubborn, all right? But other than that, so far, I'm seeing that this is a very beautiful and magical relationship, okay? You guys are like partners in crime. I don't know, I'm hearing that. You guys are like partners in crime. You guys are really, you know, being of support and help to each other. And that's why I got the success and growth. This has a recipe for this relationship to really, you know, grow magically, all right? Or beautifully. It can go long-term as well. And at the same time, I'm also, you know, picking up as well that there's something about communication, all right? So, all right. Okay, I'm hearing right now from Spirit that for some of you, though, there might still be challenges around communication, okay? Because you got the hidden card. So I feel that can also be a challenge for some of you, that you guys shouldn't be, you know, hiding, you know, some things from each other. That's actually a tip or an advice from Spirit, that both of you should be open and transparent, all right? To kind of like avoid any assumptions or to avoid any confusion. All right. So if you're resonating with that, I feel that's just, you know, some of the things that you guys needed to work on around communication, being clear, being direct. I feel that one of you is also direct, more straightforward with the Queen of Swords card that I saw earlier for you. And so maybe the other person's kind of like very passive. Yeah, that's another thing that I'm hearing right now. One person is actually more assertive, more of like a go-getter and all that. The other person's more like the passive type as well. But so far, I love the energy of this reading. Yeah, I'll be very honest. So let's see what else. New beginnings. Travel. Ooh, okay. Conflict in reverse, but yeah, like what I said, there's no such thing as a perfect, partnership anyway. That's why I'm sharing to you guys, not only the gooey stuffs, as well as, the things that you might actually watch out for about the issues, the obstacles, right, or the blockages in this relationship. But let's pull up one last card first. Leadership. Yeah, okay. I'll be very honest. Let me just deliver the message that I just heard. When I saw the leadership card, I heard that really, really strong right now. So let me start off with that. For some of you, not all of you, especially if this is actually for the divine feminine watching, all right? Let's just say you are the divine feminine. You can be more like operating from a masculine energy is what I'm hearing from spirit. Not for all of you, okay? And so if that's going to be the case, I feel you're always the one who's taking control of the relationship or the one who's deciding, yeah, and it's kind of like the roles have switched. The other person is more of like dependent. The other person is kind of like more, relying on what it is that you want. All right. So again, just be mindful about that too. Okay. We have to, also remember that we have to balance the masculine and feminine energies. All right. Maybe that's why I got the honor. Let me go back again, because Spirit just really told me that while I saw the, leadership card. Where was that card? Hold up. Yeah, let me just go back there. Because Spirit wanted me to discuss that for someone. There you go. Honor the masculine, right? So I feel the challenge here for some of you, especially if you're resonating with, yep, I'm actually the one who's more assertive. I'm actually, a lot more older than this person, or at least I'm a lot more mature than this person. And yes, I actually, am the one who's initiating action. So again, that's a sign you are operating from more like the masculine in this relationship, all right? It's not to say that that is really bad. What Spirit is saying, there should be balance, okay? All right? Because like what I said, we all have divine masculine and feminine energies, but we have to really try to balance both. Because I'm actually hearing right now from Spirit, the challenge around that is that since the roles have switched, like you're always the one initiating everything. You're always the one kind of like wearing, the man's pants, if you know what I mean, right? There is still a challenge around that. Either it can also make the other person feel inferior of you, or this person's ego might, be trampled, even if it's not really what you want, or it's not really intended by you, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. So make sure that you balance that as well. All right. Those are the messages for somebody who would resonate with that. Okay. Because when I saw that leadership card, Spirit wanted me to discuss that real quick. And then I'm also getting here as well that, you got the conflict, and maybe that's it. That's part of the conflict. There's something about, dependency. I'm hearing that right now, like somebody's always dependent on the other, or it can be that there is also a possible issue around somebody's feeling like, can you give me some space? All right, you're always around me. Can you give me some time to just be alone by myself? I'm hearing that. Okay, you know me, I'm gonna give it to you straight. So there should be that perfect balance, and establish also some boundaries to respect each other's space. All right, that even though you're lovers already, boyfriends or girlfriends, or even husband and wife, you have to really respect each other's boundaries. Okay. And then I'm also going to read this as travel, not just conflict, because we see your boat and they got the travel over here. So for some of you, either you really love traveling, okay, so you can expect that if you will be in a relationship with this person, you guys are always going to be, going outdoors, maybe going to the beach, or just really, traveling all over the world, let's just say. So that's nice. Okay, let's pull up more cards here. A win-win outcome is forecast. Yeah, win-win solution. Again, there's something about balance with the scales of justice, right? So yeah, we were just talking about that as well. And I'm also hearing the word compromise, all right? So I'm going to read that as compromise because I heard it right now. So yeah, if, there are some things, of course, that you are not going to be agreeing about, which is normal, all right? Couples argue, all right? There would be, instances in which you and this person are not actually, seeing eye to eye, or you're not meeting on, on the same, you're not seeing the same page. So again, the word compromise is really, really strong here. And then, yeah, again, you got the action card. Okay. And I'm going to read this not as action card first, okay? Look at this image over here, black and white. That's exactly what I'm actually talking about. Maybe you want white, this person want black. So you're not actually on the same page, right? And that happens in any type of relationship or partnership where you're not really on the same page. So what you guys can actually do is to establish as well, again, respect. Of course, there should always be respecting each other. This is what you want, this is what I want. Not forcing, someone to kind of like, oh, this is what I want, and it's my decision, and you have to respect the other person's, decision as well. So again, the word compromise is very, very strong here if I read those two cards intuitively. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Whoa, you saw me shuffle as always. Time out. I can't believe this. So that's a validation again. Group number 2. Remember, I was just talking about that. Like, for some of you watching group number 2, that can be a potential challenge in this connection. Let's just say you will be in a relationship with them. Those are the things that you need to be, mindful about. Whether one of you is actually kind of like feeling as if that, hey, can you give me some space? All right. I love you. All right. But can you give me some space? Let me do my stuff here. All right. It's like, this person, whoever this is, whether this is describing you or it's actually the other person that you have in your mind, is wanting that. All right. Like, this person is hoping that the both of you would be respecting each other's space. Again, boundaries is very, very strong. And I'm also, getting here as well that maybe somebody in this connection is always checking the other person up. And that's great. That's because you love the person. It's out of, your pure love and concern for the person. But just do it in a very balanced way. No wonder there's a lot of cards around balance too. Okay. So yeah, try to balance that, because even this image over here, black and white, yin and yang, balance, right? So yeah, the timeout card is a strong validation. My gosh. Let's pull up another one. Gratitude. Okay. All right. So with this gratitude, what I'm actually, getting, again, like what I said, I feel that this person's going to be really thankful. Whoever this is, whether this is you will be thankful, or this person's going to be thankful that, hey, I really appreciate that you're always there for me. You're always checking up on me. You're always there to support me. But I hope you can respect my space. All right. That's for some of you, because that was so strong. This card was really a validation. And then with the gratitude as well, I'm going to read this as support, okay? Holding each other's hands, all right? Like, I'm here for you, all right? That's actually the energy I'm getting just by looking at this image. So not only there's something about, being grateful. You guys are really going to be grateful by being around each other, or because of this relationship that you both have, or thankful that you've met, all right? Thankful that you are together as a couple. But I'm also going to be reading that as there's really that beautiful support between you and this individual. Oh my gosh, I love your reading, group number 2. I tell you, it's a freaking totally different energy from group number one. Wow. Okay, let's see. What else? What would it be like if you will be in a relationship with this person, or you are in a relationship with this person? I feel like pulling up another one. I didn't do this for group one, but yeah, I feel like pulling up another one here. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so you got the universe, and then you got victory and success. So yeah, I'm just, basically seeing here based on these two cards that there is also, number one, I'm hearing this, okay? There's also a potential challenge around moving forward from some past issues, all right? Not for all of you, but I'm hearing that right now. So I feel that the both of you should be aware that the past is past. All right. Especially if that past issue was already resolved, don't bring that up. Okay. Just to win a point or to win an argument, and just point it towards the other person. Like, this is what you did in the past, right? Or, I don't know. I'm hearing that very strongly for some of you, okay? But I'm also going to read this as I feel that you really are kind of like, yeah, this is the world card. So it's like you really, are always together. You are each other's world. And maybe that's why I got the timeout. Like, it's great that you guys are always together. You're doing things together. You're partners in crime, just like what I said earlier. But just make sure, it's just a reminder from Spirit to respect each other's space. Okay? That's what I'm getting. And another thing that I'm also getting here, that this relationship, especially that's so beautiful, even though we saw some challenges here in this relationship, I'm definitely, I'm very positive here that this could really go long term. Some of you might even marry this person. I'll be very, very direct. Okay, you might even marry this person, grow a family with this person, or at least have fur babies, because I actually heard that earlier for someone. But yeah, it's really going to be a successful relationship, okay, with this victory and success card. Wow, this is beautiful. I love this. And again, with, the eyes, because Spirit wanted me to highlight the eyes. There's something about watching, all right? Like, you're watching each other, you're looking after each other. That was so strong too. Okay, let's pull up another set of cards. Yeah, forgiving and learning. All right. Oops. Dream time creation. A lot of artistic people chose group number 2, by the way. I'm hearing that right now. Oh my gosh, a celebrity. All right. Okay. 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 Mm-hmm. All right, so here's what I'm actually seeing. I'll be very honest for group number 2. For some of you, you got the celebrity card. Usually I don't really base it off on what it says, but I also heard that somebody watching group number 2, you're actually asking about a celebrity, a famous person. No wonder you just got that victory and success card. This is actually the 6 of Wands card, and so it's actually about popularity. A person is being cheered on and admired by a lot of people. So yeah, and that's why I got the dream as well. You got the imagine card earlier, so it's okay. All right, it's just for fun anyway. All right, and nothing is impossible. Even if you're inquiring about a celebrity, like for instance, what would it be like if I'm actually in a relationship with Johnny Depp, things like that. But for some of you, I'm also hearing that you are, this is not for all of you. I don't know why I'm hearing either you are connected really to a celebrity, like you personally, like you really know this person. It's not just you imagining like what if we're together, because I'm seeing that too. But I'm also hearing that right now that somebody is inquiring about a celebrity friend, like this person is really famous, all right, and you really know each other, like personally, okay, or there's a thing going on between you and this person, and maybe you're also a celebrity, right? Because you got the world card too. So yeah. Wow. Now, if that's the case, why am I bringing this up? Because if you're resonating with that, all right, let's start off with that because I heard that right now from Spirit. Let's actually start off with somebody in this connection is actually a celebrity. Whether the both of you are a celebrity, that's a possibility. Or one of you guys is just a celebrity, really famous. I'm actually hearing from Spirit again. There is actually a need for the both of you to really kind of like, practice respect around, again, space, all right, around space, or maybe somebody's always watching, somebody's always like, because I'm hearing insecurity, okay, somebody is kind of like maybe going to be feeling a little bit insecure that you're famous, or let's just say not necessarily celebrity famous, but you know, somebody in this connection is well admired by a lot of people and all that, and somebody's always like, you know, checking up, like, are you actually flirting with other women or guys? You know, I'm hearing that right now. Okay, so again, there should be, you know, you guys should practice the respect of each other's space, and again, I feel it's trust that needs to be established here, okay, or that needs to be promoted here, because if you trust each other so much, you won't be doing that. Like, I trust my man, I trust my girl, like she's not going to do those things, or he's not going to do those things, okay? So yeah, because I'm really going to be reading this as celebrity, and that's really interesting because Spirit told me, yep, there's actually, you know, somebody watching group number 2 is, you know, inquiring about a celebrity. One is actually just for imagination, like, you know, you are just curious for fun, like, okay, what if I'm actually in a relationship with Johnny Depp, let's just say, or what's gonna happen, all right, what will be the chemistry? Yeah, but for some of you, I just heard that, like, Spirit is saying somebody really is a celebrity. So whether you are the celebrity or you are inquiring about a person who's a celebrity, and if you're resonating with that, okay, so just make sure that you respect each other's space, and at the same time to also establish or promote trust, because it might actually, you know, kind of like, cause some conflict around jealousy, all right, or being, you know, possessive or jealous of each other, all right, so just be mindful about that, okay? What else? You got the forgiving and learning. So forgiving and learning, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So what I'm actually, you know, seeing here, again, release the past. I was just talking about that earlier, right? Because that's what I heard from Spirit, that for some of you, the past is the past, all right? Just learn from the past, heal it, but don't bring it back into the table every time you will have an argument. Like, hey, this is what you did in the past, all right? So again, just be mindful about that as well. And at the same time, I'm also, you know, picking up as well that there might be some sort of like a pattern that kept on repeating for some of you, all right? You got the World card. Let me go back. This is actually the World card, the Universe card, all right? And so I'm getting that there might be some sort of like a cycle that kept on repeating. I'm even hearing cheating, okay? So this is not for all of you. I'm just going to use that example because I heard that right now from Spirit again. So whether this is really the case or it's just what Spirit wanted to drive at, like there is a repeating cycle or a pattern that needs to be stopped. And I feel, for instance, for cheating, let's use that example, like, hey, why are you doing this again? I thought we talked about this, that you're not going to cheat on me anymore, all right? So yeah, there might be some issues, again, from the past that weren't closed out yet completely. And therefore, because of the past, or because what has transpired in the past, it caused a lot of suspicions or trauma or distrust. That's the thing. Maybe that's why I keep on hearing the word trust. And trust is like, you know, a piece of paper. If you crumple it, you know, you can smoothen it out, but it's still there. You know, the crease is still there. So that's the thing, though. All right. There might be some trust issues for some of you because of a history or because of something that has happened in the past. So again, only take what applies. Gosh, for group number 2, there's a lot of specific messages. Oh boy, I need to catch my breath. All right, so yeah, there you go. Let's actually pull up another set of cards now. Interesting about that celebrity thing. Wow. For some of you, you're just actually inquiring about a celebrity that you are crushing on. Others of you, there's actually, yeah, that really strong message from Spirit that either you are the celebrity, and I'm not just picking up like just popular person. I'm really hearing celebrity, like celebrity. So whether, yeah, wow. Whether that's you or you are actually, yeah, you're friends with someone that you're crushing on, or you maybe, yeah, who knows, you are in a situationship with a celebrity. That's actually not impossible, because I heard that. Can I get an autograph? Just kidding. Anyway. Are you kidding me? Being famous. He saw me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm freaking blown away with your reading, group number 2. You saw me shuffle as always, right? That's why I love shuffling real time, because we both get surprised, you know? Yeah, and I love surprises, okay? Positive ones, of course. But yeah, I was just, you know, saying, can I get an autograph? I was just joking, and then this came up. Being famous and celebrated, achieving praise and recognition. So I'm reading it 2 ways, all right? For those who are not resonating with that celebrity stuff, because that was so strong. I wasn't even expecting that, you guys. But yeah, we'll get to that later on. Let's just pull up all 6 cards. Oh my gosh, this is really beautiful. This is really beautiful. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. All right. Okay, seeking forgiveness. So you keep on getting the keyword forgiveness. That's definitely, you know, what Spirit is trying to highlight here for a lot of you as well. Group number 2. Okay, all right. Oh, yeah, you got the gossip. Well, yeah. I mean, come on. Let's start off with the celebrity stuff. I can't believe this. This is the first time I've done this type of reading. Although there are some readings in which I'm picking up something about celebrity. But, you know, this one is so freaking strong, you guys. Yeah, I don't know who this is, you know. I don't know if it's Miley Cyrus. I'm just kidding, you know. But anyway, I'm just really picking up that, like what I said, somebody watching group number 2. And let's start off with, this is not, well, it can go both ways anyway. So whether you are just inquiring for fun, if you are in a relationship with somebody who's really famous, that you're crushing on, or you really are in a situationship, or you're crushing, or not crushing, you are in a situationship, or you're friends with a celebrity that you are into. I'm definitely, you know, seeing here that, yeah, part of the challenge there would be gossip. So there's something about privacy. Okay, so you got to be accepting that. So whether, for instance, this is the person who's a celebrity, all right, or who's famous. And so you got to accept that it's part of the package. And when you are in a relationship with a celebrity, somebody who's actually famous, so the word privacy is going to be a challenge for you guys, all right? So you gotta accept that, because it's part of the package, really. So there might be some sort of like negative comments, there might be some sort of like gossip going on, all right? And yeah, the both of you needed to really be aware about that, right? And to work on those things, okay? Especially around privacy and trust, because I feel that, again, it might push one of you to be a little bit jealous. All right, I'm hearing that too, like jealous because of maybe let's just say there's a lot of women who's actually into this, you know, guy who's famous or who's a celebrity, right? And it might cause, you to be a little bit jealous, or to be jealous about it, or to feel insecure as well. Okay. And then what else? So let's actually also read, this differently now, with this being famous and celebrated, achieving praise and recognition. The other message I'm hearing, if you're not resonating, of course, with the celebrity stuff, then it's just you guys really, supporting each other. All right. I feel that there's a lot of motivation, just like what I said. When your partner actually, let's just say this person bag an award, let's just say, or they did a hell of a good job, all right, and they got some sort of like a trophy, or some recognition. You're actually going to be like the cheerleader, all right, the number one cheerleader for this person, or it can be switch. They will be cheering on you. They would be actually the first one, to really congratulate you and all that. That's the vibe I'm getting just by looking at this card. All right, so again, the word support, you guys are like partners in crime. You guys are like really cheering on each other. Motivation is really, really strong here, and that's beautiful. And then what else? You got finding the ideal partner, your Prince Charming. Wow, how freaking beautiful is that? So I feel that one of you, again, roles can be switched, or the both of you would be feeling as if that, oh my gosh, I found the right person for me. This is my person. Maybe you've kissed a lot of frogs, all right? Or there were a lot of, not so good partnerships in the past. And by being together, you would both realize like, oh yeah, this is the one for me. This is my Prince Charming. This is my princess. So no wonder you got the gratitude card. That's why I said earlier, it can also be that you'll be really thankful that you met this person, or that they met you. All right. You'll be thankful to each other. Like, yeah, I'm so glad that I met you. I'm so glad we are in a relationship. Okay. However, now let's go to the challenging part again. All right. Somebody is a little bit wishy-washy. Somebody couldn't make up their mind. All right. So that's another thing to look out for. Maybe one of you is more straightforward, is more sure of what they want. And somebody's kind of like wishy-washy. Somebody's kind of like always, I'm hearing Gemini, by the way, fickle-minded. Okay, so somebody might resonate with that. I keep on hearing Gemini. So I don't know who is this for, but anyway, yeah. And I won't be surprised, because Gemini or air signs, actually, they tend to change their mind. I have a lot of air in my chart. I have Libra moon, Aquarius moon, and Libra rising. So yeah, we can shift our minds, easily. So yeah, that's actually a challenge for some of you. And then for others of you, I'm getting here, I'm sharing right now, if there was something from the past that has occurred, then maybe the both of you really needed to forgive each other and to really close out a cycle for good. Okay, not to bring up the past anymore, or to make sure that that won't happen again. Because there's also something about pattern for group number 2 that maybe, especially if this is a person that you had a situationship with, or maybe you've actually seen all of these red flags, there's kind of like, going to be that feeling of distrust, or feeling that maybe this person's going to be doing it again. All right. So any issues from the past, in other words, you guys needed to resolve that and make sure that cycle, that cycle's totally closed out, and not to bring it up again, or prevent it from happening again. Okay. Wow, gosh, group number 2. Your reading is so freaking beautiful, and I love that there's actually a lot of information here. The celebrity stuff blew me away. My gosh, even God being famous and all that. I wonder who this is, all right? Oh gosh, anyway, so before we wrap things up, let me actually pull up a message for you. So let's start off with this deck. Okay, wow, group number 1 actually got this. Interesting. I shuffled the cards, but group number one also got that card, and it says ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. Okay, so yeah, maybe some of you might resonate with that message. It's just a random message anyway, that maybe you're being asked to be willing to receive support from your loved ones, your family, or the people that you actually trust. Okay, that's why it says here ask for help. And then you got here, every experience, regardless of whether you perceive it as good or bad, comes with a gift attached. Yet sometimes the gift is only revealed with the passing of time. Trust, all is as it should be. What the freak, group number two? Why do you keep on getting the word trust? That's interesting. We were just talking about that over and over again, and it's crazy that we see that here too. Trust, all is as it should be. And yeah, I really agree with this message for you, group number two, that every experience, whether it's good or bad, there is a gift attached to it. It's just that we need to train our minds to see the good, not just the bad, right? And yeah, there's a reason for everything. And at the same time, maybe you may not see it right now. It may be quite, confusing for you guys right now to see that, or to understand why is this happening, what's really going on. But maybe in perfect timing, in divine timing, everything will be revealed to you, everything will be divulged to you, and there you go, you would begin to realize, all right, why those things happen. All right, what is a gift of all of these things that are happening in this situation, or the things that has transpired. But yeah, trust, all is as it should be. And again, let me go back here, ask for some help. So again, unlike group number one, although group number one got this card, which is quite interesting, although group two's reading is totally different from group number one, what I'm going to also say is that this ask for help card, I feel this is what's the relationship going to be like as well, between, you and this person that you have in your mind. Two things. Number one, you guys are always like really helping each other, just like what I said. Support, right? Ask for help, like, hey, I needed some help, and the other person's really going to be bringing the other person up, or really willing to give some support. And I've said that many, many times. To see this card, this is again a validation. And then number two, though, for some of you, so only take what applies, there might be some sort of like issue around dependency. Okay, so not for all of you, that's going to be for a very few of you, in which somebody's always dependent on the other. All right, and we have to really, make sure that each of us are unique individuals. We have to respect each other's individuality, and at the same time, we have to also kind of like just not kind of like enable the other person, or we shouldn't enable each other to be dependent on one another. All right, we're separate individuals, we're unique individuals. So yeah, help them grow. If you truly love them, help them grow, help them to stand on their own feet. I don't know, I'm hearing that right now as well. All right, instead of taking control, instead of always being the one, doing things for them, is what I'm actually also hearing. Wow, there you go. What a reading, group number two. This is my favorite so far. I haven't done group three's reading just yet, but yeah, I love your reading, group number two. So anyway, that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this, and as always, I'll see you again next week. Love and light. Bye, guys. Welcome, group number three. You chose this really cute unicorn keychain. So let's find out for fun. What would it be like if you are in a relationship with this person in your mind, or will be in a relationship with this person in your mind? Group one and group two's reading are quite interesting. They're really, totally different energies. Group two's reading was so freaking, beautiful, and it's crazy. Celebrity, there's something about celebrity. You'd go check that out for fun if you want. But anyway, let's find out yours, since this is what you chose. Spirit guides, archangels, and angels, please provide some guided messages for the collective we chose, group number three. Alrighty, you got the Chariot, Queen of Wands. Okay, you got here the Star. Wow, a lot of major arcanas. Four of Swords. Okay. Five of Wands. Okay, alright. And then Five of Cups. Okay. Bottom of the deck, you have the Moon. Wow, a lot of water signs too, okay? Especially Cancer and Pisces, okay? And then I'm seeing here fire signs as well. So that's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then we also have here Aquarius, if it's actually ear. All right, so what would it be like if you actually are in a relationship with this person in your mind? What's the experience like, and what are the potential challenges or issues that might actually come up? That's because we're just going to be realistic here, you guys, all right? There's no such thing as a fairy tale, a very perfect relationship. There would be challenges along the way. So speaking of challenges, let's start off with that, okay? So what I'm actually getting here for group number 3, they're actually showing me here in your spread that there would be, you know, some challenges around opening up. That's actually what I got very, very strongly. So either somebody in this connection is either having some difficulty opening up, acknowledging their feelings, expressing what they truly feel. I'm getting a very quiet energy for some of you, all right? Not for all of you, because again, it's a general reading, but I'm actually hearing, I'm channeling this right now, that somebody's dealing with a person, whether this is you or the person in mind, who's really, you know, quiet. And it's like, come on, can you speak up? Can you tell me what's going on? That could be a challenge, all right? So let's just say you're in a relationship. Those are the things that you might actually encounter, all right? It might cause confusion. That's why I got the Moon as well, because Moon is also things that are hidden. It might even result to suspicions too, or doubts. That's what I'm hearing. Like, are you hiding something from me, okay? What are you hiding from me? Okay. That's because there is that challenge of not opening up, not really being straightforward and all that, which is quite interesting. You got the Queen of Wands. This can actually be one of you who's actually more of like, straightforward and blunt, like, okay, this is what I want, but the other person's kind of like a bit confusing. Somebody's kind of like not sure, or somebody's kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna keep it to myself. And so that's the thing when it comes to any type of partnerships, friendships, lovers, or, you know, husband and wife, you guys shouldn't keep, you know, any secrets from each other. That's number one, right? You guys should actually open up, all right, for the relationship to grow, to develop, or to even deepen further. And so that's a challenge that I'm seeing here. There's also something about pride and ego for group number 3, okay? There might be some challenges around that, in which somebody's always wanting to force their opinion. No, I'm right, you're wrong. I don't know, I'm getting that too for some of you. So only take what applies, all right? And so that might result with you butting heads with each other with this Five of Wands, okay? For some of you, this can be also, all right, this is another thing that I just heard right now from Spirit. Spirit wanted me to say this. It can also be that the challenge in this connection, let's just say if you will be in a relationship with them, make sure that you don't involve other people, all right? Because there might be a possibility that other people are actually getting in the way of you guys, all right? Even if you're just boyfriends and girlfriends, all right? That is just between the both of you. Because I feel, I don't know, I'm hearing a very specific scenario right now from Spirit that for some of you, maybe, you know, other friends are going to be involved, all right? Or somebody actually shared this information to the other person, and the other person is going to feel like, okay, you know, this is just between the both of us. Why are you I know that this is your best friend and all that, but this is between the both of us. Don't involve them here. Don't drag them here, okay? I don't know. I'm hearing that right now. Oh my gosh, this is so freaking weird. Like, I'm hearing a dialogue. That's for someone out there, all right? And then I'm also hearing that it can also be, yeah, other people might be, again, like, you know, causing some issue or some drama, which is something that is going to be posing a challenge to both of you, all right? So again, I'm seeing a lot for group number 3. Gosh. Whew, I need to catch my breath. Just like group 1 and group number 2, there's so many information. But let's just put it this way. Regardless of whatever scenario that you're resonating with, Spirit is actually showing me here that there is definitely hope in this relationship. Despite of the challenges that we've actually identified here, there is hope. Okay, you guys can still make things work, all right? And I feel the advice from Spirit here is just to open up, have that really meaningful, healthy conversation with each other, all right? Because I'm also picking up that somebody in this connection, for some of you, instead of actually addressing the issue, or somebody's kind of like avoiding confrontation for some of you. I also heard that right now, okay? So that's going to be a problem if one of you is, I don't want to deal with it, I'm just going to leave, all right? Instead of you sitting down, all right, talking about it in a healthy way, not butting heads with each other or not at each other's throat, but just really talking about it, okay? If those things are something that you guys can actually work on, then the relationship can actually grow, all right? There's a possibility of this relationship, you know, being much more deeper, all right? Or for this to be successful. Another challenge here, oh gosh, another challenge, there's something about dwelling on the past here with the 5 of Cups. So I feel that there is actually a message from Spirit here that if you are, let's just say, in a relationship with this person, both of you or one of you should actually, you know, learn how to just release the past. Don't bring up the past anymore, okay? Because what's done is done. You cannot undo the past. The thing you can actually, you know, get from the past is wisdom, right? You learn from the past. But no more blaming, no more pointing fingers. Oh, you did this in the past. You know, I'm also hearing that for some of you. There's also something about decision making, okay? Somebody's either having a hard time deciding, or again, there's something about direction. What is it that you want, okay? Do you want black or white? That's another thing that I'm also getting here. But yeah, it's not to say, group number 3, that this relationship can't work. Spirit is just showing you some of the possibilities, all right, of some issues that might arise if you were, or rather if you are in a relationship with this individual in your mind. But I feel it's a passionate relationship. I feel as well that, you know, it can still be healed. And the good thing as well in this connection, let's now proceed to the good stuff as well, not just the challenges. But what I'm actually getting for group number 3 is that, yeah, somebody watching group number 3, you have this very, you know, healing energy as well. Somebody's really patient, somebody's very nurturing, somebody, yeah, I feel that could also, you know, going to be a big help, all right? Especially if you are empathizing, all right, with a situation. Seeing both sides of a situation is what I'm hearing right now from Spirit. This is actually a tip to see where the other person is coming from. Especially if the other person is kind of like having a hard time expressing themselves, or they're really, you know, kind of like not necessarily they're cheating, they're hiding something from you, but it's just who they are. And we have to embrace the fact that we are all unique individuals, all right? As much as we wanted this person to behave the way we wanted it, you know, to be, or we wanted them to behave, we are all unique individuals. We can't force that for this person to act or behave right away to be like us, right? And that's the reality of things. And so the word acceptance is actually also important. And even when it comes to marriage, you know, you are going to embrace not only the beautiful sides of a person, the facets, but also the things that we will consider as flaws, right? But yeah, I still feel that this relationship can still work, even if we're seeing all these challenges. So long as the both of you are really going to have that really meaningful, healthy conversation, opening up, okay? Although that's part of the challenge. Somebody's kind of like having a hard time opening up. And it's kind of like going to trigger one of you to feel either doubtful, okay? Or, hey, are you hiding something from me? Okay? What's going on? Okay, so let's see. Let's try to move on to the next set of cards. Wow, very interesting for group number 3. You got empowerment. Are you kidding me? Transparency. That's exactly what we were just talking about earlier, right? Right off the bat, I started the reading with there's something about, opening up. You and your partner or this person that you have in your mind, let's just say you are in a relationship already, both of you should be, transparent, okay? One of you is what I'm hearing. One of you guys, if this is you guys are more open, you're actually not hiding anything, you're just very straightforward, but somebody is actually not, okay? Somebody needed to be much more authentic or to come from that very authentic space. Yeah, so there might be also some issues around honesty. Are you being honest with me? So again, suspicions, which is quite similar as well for group number 2. That came up as well for group number 2, actually. There's something about trust issues. Or was it group number 1? Because when I do the reading, I just go on and on and on. Anywho, yeah. Let's actually pull up another card. Breathe. Okay. And then he got imagine. All right. So again, imagine, let's start off with that. It would actually enable one of you to kind of like maybe imagine some things, all right? Like, oh, maybe, for instance, this is just an example, okay? Oh, maybe this person's cheating on me, all right? And I can't blame the person is going to feel that way. Because again, you've got to empathize where that person is coming from. Both sides, again, both sides of a situation. The person is reacting that way or is triggered to act that way or behave that way. It's because of, it's coming from, a certain, situation. And the situation that we're talking about here is that somebody in this, connection is kind of like always not wanting to open up and is not expressing some things that they should be expressing. And again, if you are in a relationship, again, it's very important for the relationship to grow, to have that meaningful, okay? And honest conversations with each other, right? That's why it's called partnership. That's why it's called relationship, especially around marriage, right? You don't, keep secrets to each other. So yeah, I feel, again, that's what Spirit is trying to highlight for you guys. I know there's a lot of moon, okay? So moon, secrecy, all right? And I keep on hearing suspicion. So that's why I got the Imagine card. So it might trigger one of you to even if it's not really the case, but because of what's going on, it might trigger one of you to kind of like feel suspicious that, hey, you're not being honest with me, you're keeping something from me, okay? And then another thing that I'm also getting here, look at this empowerment card. So I'm actually, I'm going to read this intuitively first. We see here this knight, okay, he's wearing this armor. So somebody, again, is kind of like very guarded, all right, is wearing an armor, like trying to protect themselves as well. So, yeah, although you can actually still empathize, because here's the thing, it can also be because of the way that person was brought up. right? We have to understand at times, why is this person behaving this way? It's not because they're really being a jerk. It's not because they're, really bad. It's just that how they were brought up. Or maybe, some traumatic event as to why they suddenly became like that, right? So empathy is very strong for you guys as well. It's not to say that is correct behavior and all that, but you've got to, understand that, yeah, maybe this person cannot change overnight for you, all right? That's actually what I'm getting here. And then, yeah, this woman is holding the sword. Sword for me is actually truth, okay? I'm also picking up freedom. I don't know why, all of a sudden. Yeah, especially you got the Breathe card. So freedom as well. So maybe somebody in this connection is also kind of like very free-spirited or freedom-loving, okay? And it might also cause, one of you to feel as if that, hey, I can't breathe. Yeah, because you got the Breathe card. I can't breathe. Even with this armor, okay, I can't breathe. Like, give me some space. Another thing, it says here, use your past experiences to make yourself stronger. Exactly. So we saw the Five of Cups. So instead of actually, just like what I said, instead of dwelling in the past mistake, regrets, frustration, use the past, all right, as something they can learn from. Just like what was discussed at the very beginning, which is crazy to see that as a validation again from spirit. We use the past as a form of wisdom, right? Not to use the past as something that would just really make us feel upset, right? And yeah, cause some more negative experience or negative emotions. Gosh, group number 3, very beautiful. For group number 3, I feel that some parts of it were actually from group 1. Maybe somebody's checking out all 3 groups, but yeah, group 1 and group 2's reading are totally different from each other. But yeah, let's see what else. Sea Witch. Create. Balance. Okay. Oh, you got the self-esteem, although it came out in reverse. Oh, okay. Wow, okay. So here's what I'm actually getting based on these 4 cards. Again, one of you is actually, either more confident than the other. That's actually what I'm feeling. Because even earlier, what I actually heard from Spirit, somebody in this connection is more on the shy side. Somebody's a bit quiet, reserved, not talking that much. All right. And the other person is more like the Queen of Wands, whether you're male or female watching this, more vocal, more straightforward. They know what they want. They go after it. They're very ambitious. The other person is kind of like, yeah, more of like very quiet, kind of like the sea, a silent energy is what I'm getting here. And I'm also hearing, yeah, wow, I just heard it right now. This is not for all of you, but I'm also hearing that somebody's very artistic or into arts. Okay, that's another thing that I'm also getting here. So maybe the both of you are very artistic or what, and both of you are really going to be kind of like motivating as well each other, encouraging each other as well to pursue their dreams, their goals, all right? That's another thing that I'm also seeing here. I feel one of you is going to be kind of like boosting the other person's motivation. That's another thing that I'm hearing. So if you're resonating with, yep, my person is quiet, I'm more of like the confident, assertive person in the relationship or in the connection, then I feel you will be the one to kind of like boost this person, okay? Because you love to motivate, you love to inspire is actually what I'm getting here, all right? Or somebody in this connection is kind of like in that energy, wanting to motivate, wanting to inspire, yeah. And that's the healing energy as well that I'm also getting for group number 3. And yeah, even if there's difference, because you got the fine balance card, all right? I feel for group number 3, it's kind of like, not for all of you, but it's kind of like giving me this, feeling that you're like polar opposites. but even though you're polar opposites, and yeah, you got the Five of Wands, so there's clash because of those differences. You can still complement each other, right? You can actually, really help each other. For instance, just like that example that I gave out earlier, in which one person is more confident, the other person is not, then the other person is going to bring the other person up and inspire the other person to, hey, you can do this, all right? That's actually what I'm hearing right now from Spirit, which is beautiful. I love this. I also heard Pisces. Wow. Why? Okay. Why Pisces? Maybe, yeah, Spirit just wanted to give out that validation for someone. I keep on hearing Pisces. Anyway, let's actually move on. Wizard of Awareness. Taking steps. Fear. Focus, and then protection. Oh, okay. Wow. I wasn't expecting this. Whoa, that was so strong. I love the entire reading. This entire reading is packed with a lot of information. So let me start off with this very specific message I'm hearing right now. It's not going to resonate, obviously, for all of you, but I'm hearing this right now. Somebody watching group number 3, you guys are healers. No wonder there's a lot of healing card. 4 of Swords is actually a healing card. All right, that's actually the card they got at the very start. And then he also got the Star card, which is a healer card as well for me. So yeah, a lot of empaths, a lot of healers actually chose group number 3. And even psychics, okay, with the moon as well. And so this is for those people who would resonate with this message I'm hearing right now. And what Spirit is actually saying, either this is you are the psychic or the healer, or the both of you. It's possible, all right? And I feel, what would it be like if you are in a relationship with each other? I feel that one of you is actually going to be really, going to be very protective of each other, okay, of each other. But I'm also hearing that, for those who are resonating with your psychic or healer and the person that you are inquiring about is not, but this is the spiritual career that you have, you might be also kind of like a bit fearful, all right, with this fear card. You might be a little bit fearful about the welfare of your person, okay, because, we are in a type of career in which having spiritual attacks or encountering all of these stuffs, all right, it's normal, it's part of the package, and it's never easy. And so I feel that if this is you, okay, you are kind of like a little bit fearful that this person might actually also get the attack, or this person might get dragged into the, problem and all that. And it's like, you don't want them to suffer, all right, the consequences, or you don't want them to actually experience all of these, stuffs like spiritual attacks or psychic attacks. And that's actually, yeah, something I could resonate with, all right, since I'm also, doing these stuffs as well, in which I'm, really seeing how challenging it is, all right, that it would also involve loved ones, all right? It might actually also affect our loved ones. And so I feel that somebody's kind of like going to be really super protective of this relationship. So let's just say it can be switched, by the way. Let's just say this person that you're inquiring about is a psychic or a practitioner or a healer. So somebody, again, is going to be a little bit fearful about that. That's their main concern, is what I'm hearing, that what if, my person or this person person gets attacked. I don't want that because I love this person, all right? So that's, a potential challenge here, right? Although that's really the case, all right? It happens, all right? It happens. So, yeah. Another thing that I'm also getting here, there's also something about self-esteem again, okay? Let me go back to the self-esteem. I feel that for group number 3, somebody in this connection is really going to be the one to always kind of like try to boost the other person's self-esteem or confidence. Somebody's much more mature here, right? That's another thing that I'm getting. Somebody's a lot more mature. Maybe this other person is kind of like, yeah, not to say that they're so immature. It's just that one person in this relationship is kind of like the stronger one, a much more stronger personality. That's why you're like polar opposites, The other person's more assertive. The other person's kind of like passive and very, kind of like extrovert, introvert. Okay, let me just put it that way so it's going to be clear to you guys. That's what I'm actually, picking up. Another thing that I'm also getting here, there is also somebody in this relationship, just like what I said, who's kind of like afraid to take some risk, okay? Or afraid to take a chance, okay? That's another thing. So you guys needed to be aware about that as well, or to be mindful about that. And then family is also going to be very important, all right, in this connection as well. So either they would, again, like what I said, introducing you to their family members, if you're already in a relationship with this person, or the both of you are family oriented, maybe, if it's not just one person or one of you. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, I just heard that right now. Hold up, you guys. I'm hearing something from Spirit. So this is not for all of you, but yeah, makes sense why the 5 of Wands. Spirit wanted me to go back to the 5 of Wands about people might get in the way. So there is a possibility that a family member can get in the way, all right? And somebody's going to be a little bit uncomfortable with that, all right? Yeah. So yeah, just be mindful about that too. And yeah, if it's just, between the both of you, if there are any issues, the both of you should just, really resolve this together, not involve other people. Or it's just Spirit's way of saying that, it's just a kind of like a clue or a warning for some of you that maybe there might be, some family trying to get in the way of this. Even, being very particular with race. I heard that too. Huh? Yeah, race, as well as maybe, some age difference. Somebody's... Okay. I'm hearing, yeah. Somebody's from UK. I don't know who this is. Alright, UK. I keep on hearing UK. Wow. Gosh, there's a lot of random messages I'm hearing on this reading. Crazy. But anyway, let's move on to the next. Wow. Ooh, that was fast. Hold your vision. Oh, wow. Yin yang. Again, polar opposites. I was just talking about that. Like, yeah, because you got to find the balance card earlier as well. But I'm also hearing that there is also maybe a challenge around balance here. All right. And balance is the key, guys. All right. In everything. Balance is very, very important. So I feel this is something that can also be a challenge for some of you. Especially if, I don't know, I'm hearing somebody's always understanding of the other, somebody's always the one who's looking after the other person, and the other person's kind of like not doing their part or effort. I don't know, I just heard that right now. So make sure, all right, that there should be balance in this relationship, or to establish that. Boundaries as well for some of you. I'm still hearing that too. But yeah, you got door to personal healing and happiness. So yeah, I feel like what I said, given that those are the challenges that were presented here in this reading for you guys, um, it it's not to say it can't work, all right? There's hope in this relationship so long as both of you are really going to be working together as one team, right? Like what I always say in my readings, that's why it's called partnership. It's not just one person doing the work. Otherwise, one person is going to feel really drained and exhausted, okay? Because somebody's going to say, I'm always the one trying to understand you. I'm always the one pulling the effort. I'm always the one doing this, all right? Or I'm always the one, giving love and affection and time for you, and you're not. So that's just an example of balance, all right? Or imbalance, rather. So yeah, just make sure that you create balance or try to also compromise as well. That's another thing that I'm getting here. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm actually hearing right now from Spirit as well that, yeah, on top of that, I'm still also hearing very, very strongly that you guys can make, a great team still. Once you were able to sort out those differences, once the both of you are aware, okay, of, okay, all right, I understand where you're coming from. I know that this is something that I needed to work on because we're both different. You're black, I'm white, all right? So yeah, it's like you both are really different from each other, but so long as you're able to sort out those differences, Spirit is actually saying can actually make, a great, great team. Oh gosh. So the word teamwork is very, very important, and that's what makes a very, successful relationship, right? You guys are, one big team. So yeah, let's see what else. Yeah, see, rebirth. I feel that this relationship, as time goes by, let's just say, because this is a what if reading, if you're in a relationship with them, on top of there's more to discover about each other, all right? I feel that this would go through a lot of transformation, a lot of changes, all right? Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. It's like chapter after chapter. After you guys were able to surpass any, trials or challenges on this, specific chapter, you move on to the next. There's going to be more to discover. There's going to be more to face, all right, is actually what I'm hearing right now from Spirit. More challenges. And yeah, that's actually the reality of things, all right? But it's enabling the both of you to grow, all right? And really transform beautifully. Wow, I love your reading too. I noticed you keep on getting the number 7, and I won't be surprised because a lot of spiritual people chose group number 3, okay? Because I'm actually picking up psychics and healers, who chose group number 3. So, and empaths too. Okay, so let's actually pull up another one. Yeah, this is the Hermit card, healer. Wow. Okay. Yep. So here's what I'm actually getting with the Solitude card. What I'm hearing is that, remember I said something about freedom earlier when I saw that empowerment card with the horse? Because when I saw that horse, I heard freedom. Okay, I really heard freedom, and then I tried to look down and I saw the breathe card, and so I'm just really getting here. And then you got the solitude, that I feel somebody in this connection is also wanting some space, all right, some time alone, all right. That's actually what I'm getting. Another thing that I'm also picking up here is that I feel that maybe, yeah, on top of, yeah, I needed some time by myself. I hope you can understand that I love you and all that, but can you give me some time alone? Can you give me some space for myself? I don't know. I just keep on hearing that right now. So yeah, maybe this person is very free spirited, or if this is you, all right, then this person needed to also understand that about you, all right? Because again, we're all unique individuals. So I feel somebody needed to understand that this person really needed space. I won't be surprised because you got the Aquarius as well. And Aquarians, I have Aquarius in my chart. A lot of people don't understand that about me. They find it weird, you know, that I have my own world. They say, like, it's hard to reach you. Why is it that you're just all alone? You know, it's hard to communicate with you. You have your own space. That's it. You know, on top of me being an empath, and I'm very sensitive to energies, and so I get drained easily. A lot of people don't understand that. They thought that I'm being such a snob, or you're in your own bubble and all that. Nope. It's just that I get drained easily because I'm sensitive to energy, so I needed to recharge my batteries. All right. It's giving me some time to breathe. It's giving me some time to think. All right, to contemplate about some situations. And so, yeah, I feel that one of you needed to understand that. Now, this can be you. If you're actually more like that, you are kind of like an empath too, or somebody who's also trying to seek for some space, then your partner or this person that you have in your mind should be aware about that. All right, that this is just who you are. All right, and if they love you, all right, or if you truly love someone, you know, you have to embrace that. Okay. And yeah, another thing that I'm also hearing with the solitude card, there's also something about wisdom really for group number 3. Yeah, that was so strong. I feel that the both of you, again, look at this. Look at that image over here. We see here a lady, she's holding a book. I was just talking about chapter after chapter. So there's really, you know, a lot of things that you and this person are going to learn from each other. Always remember, we are all teachers and pupils. Now, this is regardless of whatever age, okay? It's not that, okay, I'm actually 40 years old, you're only 20, you can't learn, you know, or I can't learn anything from you. That's not true. That is not true. That's the old school way. You know, some people, because of ego, because of, hey, I'm older than you, I know more than you. All right, that's not right. Okay, because honestly, we have to understand that we all learn from each other. We are all teachers and pupils. You can even learn from a kid. A 5-year-old kid can even, you know, teach you, for instance, to be carefree, to, you know, get in touch with your inner child. That's just an example, right? So that's, you know, a piece of learning there. So my point is, for group number 3, this is a connection in which you guys are really going to be discovering a lot about each other. You guys are going to be teaching, learning from each other. One is kind of like a teacher. That's another thing that I'm hearing right now. More experience, well experienced. The other person kind of like a student, okay, because they're not as experienced as you. Let's just say you're the teacher, all right, in the connection, all right? But always remember, both of you are teachers and pupils. Okay, it's not that I know more than you. I know better than you because I'm older than you. I'm hearing that right now. Okay, whoever this is for, all right, you got to understand that first you got to embrace the fact that we cannot expect for a person to behave the way that we wanted them to behave. Yes, it's only normal because this is what we want, but that's not the reality, right? So it's more about acceptance, embracing that I am different. You are black, I am white. We're different, but we can work together, all right? We can work out on those differences. And then number 2, again, you guys are really going to be, you know, teaching each other some lessons. All right, you're going to learn from each other as years go by. If this relationship is going to be, you know, going a long way, wow, it's beautiful. I feel it's still beautiful. Of course, it's not going to be a walk in the park, you guys, but it's beautiful. It's all about perception, how you see the situation. Some people may only perceive the bad, and they're having a hard time seeing the good, right? But yeah. So, oh my gosh, this, you know, this connection, I feel there's a lot of lessons. There's more and more to learn from each other and discover about each other. Wow, gosh, totally different energy still. Although some of those, you know, parts that were actually uncovered earlier, it also came from group 1 or group number 2. But I love the fact that all 3 groups, I'm getting a different feel. I'm getting a different energy. Wow, this is so nice. Okay, let's move on to the next. What else? You deserve love. You're lovable. Oh my gosh, veiled secrets again. Hidden. You can't see anything because of the fog. Confusion. So yeah, okay, alright. I love this reading. It's packed with a lot of synchronicity. Cell phone, polish your communication skills. Okay, yep. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised. We were just talking about that at the very beginning of this reading. One of the biggest challenges for a lot of you chose group number 3. Again, like what I said, somebody's kind of like having a hard time opening up, or somebody's not expressing, you know, and it will trigger one of you to kind of like, you know, feel suspicious. Like, are you hiding something from me? Again, fog. Fog is confusion because it's veiled. You can't see anything. What's actually around this mountain, okay, because it's being covered by this fog. So yeah, again, the word confusion is so strong. And then you got the cell phone card, and it says here, polish your communication skills. So maybe, again, communicating how they feel, communicating the truth, being honest. Remember, you got the transparency card, right? And that transparency card is just another validation for all of us here that for this relationship to really work, the both of you needed to work on that, to be open and honest with each other, no secrets, all right? Let's not hide from each other. You tell me what's going on, I tell you what's going on, all right? While we're maintaining, you know, respect on each other's, you know, space. You get what I'm saying? Group number 3. Okay, so because even if you're husband and wife and all that, a lot of people, you know, they thought that, oh, this is my husband or this is my wife. I can do anything that I want. I will just dig into this person's email because I'm the wife. You know, that's not true. If you truly respect and love your husband or your wife, you can switch roles. Yeah, you have to, you know, establish boundaries. Okay. And trust is actually one of the things as to why that person's behaving like that, right? And again, just to, you know, empathize why that person's behaving that way. It's because of, yeah, maybe there was a history, right? As to why this person's behaving like that. But anyway, yeah, such a beautiful reading. We're not done yet, okay? And then you deserve love. I'm going to read this on top of, okay, I feel that... you know, with the balance, all right, what I'm actually hearing is that if you're the one who's more giving in this connection, more understanding, more patient, somebody in this connection needed to realize, like, hey, I need to take good care of myself too. I need to look after my own needs, and that I deserve love, all right? But if I read this intuitively, we see you're an archer. And what I'm actually hearing with this, okay, just by looking at this image, there's something about direction. There's something about, okay, being straightforward, all right? Because again, I'm getting a wishy-washy energy with this fog. Like, it's really confusing, all right? This is kind of like a total opposite. Like this one, she's aiming on the right spot, you know? So this one is kind of like giving that very, yeah, fuzzy, really... yeah, shady kind of feel. So those are the things that you guys needed to work on. Whoever, you know, it is that needs to work on that, or the both of you. If you really love each other, just support each other and talk about it. Communication is really very important in any type of relationships. Like what I always say in my readings, lack of communication, it actually bridges assumption, okay? And it's one of the, you know, relationship killers too, all right? Okay, so you got Sword and Rose, and it says here, clarity, truth, revelation. Oh my gosh, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Oh my gosh, well, need I say more? You got clarity. We were just talking about that because it's foggy, right? Confusion. So somebody's always kind of like wanting to seek for some clarity. No wonder you got the Hermit card, because Hermit is seeking for some answers, is wanting to, you know, gather some information or to seek for enlightenment, right? So yeah, that's another possibility here. okay, as to what you guys might expect if you are in a relationship with this person. And Spirit is just giving you all these tips if you want to make this relationship work, or the both of you, not just one of you. Because yeah, you might do your part. What if the other person doesn't do their part? And that's why it's called partnership, right? It should be the both of you. So yeah. Another thing that I'm also hearing with this card is that the word protection. So I feel, yeah, both of you are going to be protecting each other as well. All right. Even that specific scenario I heard from Spirit, like the psychic and healer, and you know, somebody's kind of like afraid, whoever the psychic or the healer in the connection, it's kind of like afraid, like, I'm afraid, I wanted to be in a relationship with this person. I'm hearing that dialogue, but I'm kind of like afraid that, you know, if I get all of these spiritual attacks and all of these, you know, stuff, which is part of my career, all right, this is what I chose, this is my life purpose, I'm kind of like afraid to drag this person, or maybe this, because I love this person so much, he or she might actually, you know, get dragged into the mess and all that. That's what I'm hearing, okay? And so, yeah, that protective energy. So for the rest of you, it's just basically, you know, Spirit's way of saying that you are going to be very protective of each other, all right? That's a great thing as well, because you love each other so much. And yeah, even with that Five of Wands, that if there are other people who's actually kind of like messing around with you, or you can switch roles, somebody's messing around with this person in your mind, you guys are really going to be protecting each other. Like, okay, don't mess with my man. You're messing with me. Or don't mess with my girl. I'm also getting that. Wow, yeah, so there you go. Gosh, a lot of information for group number 3. This is very interesting, but we're actually not done yet, you guys. I really love your reading too, honestly. Let's see, what else? Yep, looking for the gift connected to this situation, right? We were just talking about that. You know, we need to learn how to perceive not only the bad, but also the good. How, you know, how you're going to see the situation. So try to find the beauty out of a very, you know, negative situation. And then you have this other card. Oh my gosh, pattern. Because it says here, something from the past returning as part of a pattern, mistakenly thinking the door is closed on a past event. Yeah, for some of you, this might actually, you know, come up, you know, as one of those issues. If you will be in a relationship with this person, somebody might say, oh my gosh, I thought we talked about this. I thought that, you know, you've changed. All right, why is it happening again? Yeah, like there's a repeating pattern that needs to be closed out, okay? Or making sure that whatever it is that has happened in the past, it's done. Don't bring it up anymore. Let's not open up, you know, the past anymore. That's another thing that I'm also getting. If you're not resonating with a behavior that is not good for the relationship, that needs to be closed out, then it's just, you know, somebody maybe is trying to bring up the past as well. Oops, I just need one more card, at least on this. Yep. Oh, okay. Somebody also is kind of like really sensitive, So maybe that's why I heard Pisces. All right. Well, we have a lot of water signs for group number 3, I feel, because I believe we got Cancer. So yeah. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but yeah, although the strongest would be Pisces and Cancer. So somebody's kind of like, you know, extremely sensitive. So whether this is you or it's actually the other person or the person that you have in your mind, then yeah, again, embracing that we are all unique individuals, all right? We have to be in a place of empathy, all right, to empathize that, yeah, this is who he or she is, right? Somebody's just really, you know, extremely sensitive. Somebody gets easily hurt, all right? Ooh, okay, all right. Now that's interesting. Ooh, you got healer, therapist, counselor. I knew it. Group number 3. Whoa, wow, I love this. Yeah, okay. But I'm going to read it differently. On top of, yeah, like what I said, there's a lot of healers who chose group number 3. Psychics, empaths. Okay. Ooh, okay. So, yeah, this is very interesting. Yeah. let's start off with this, set over here, okay? Or line over here. Very interesting. This is actually telling me that somebody in this connection might also notice if you will be in a relationship with this person, or you are in a relationship with this person. Somebody will get hurt, and really take it hard if somebody's going to be forgetting dates. All right? Because somebody in the connection is quite either wishy-washy, just like what I said, or somebody's quite kind of like forgetful. Like, oops, I'm sorry, I forgot it's your birthday today. And somebody, because they're, some people, they may actually just shrug it off, or it's okay, no biggie, no sweat. But some people, especially the extremely, because it says here extremely sensitive, would get easily hurt. So again, whether this is describing you or it's actually the other person, okay? And then let's go back to the repeating cycle or the pattern. So I just heard that dialogue, like somebody saying, I thought we've talked about this. Why are you doing it again? For instance, I thought we've talked about you not smoking, okay? But you're still smoking. Okay, no wonder you got the 5 of Wands. So yeah, just make sure you both are going to really, talk like an adult and be, try to make sure that you will have this very healthy communication without, shouting at each other or at each other's, throat. Yeah, just try to really talk about it, I feel. That's why I got the counselor, the healer, therapist energy, right? Try to listen, okay? Try to, be patient with each other, okay? That's actually what I'm hearing. And at the same time as well, I'm hearing cheating. So that's not for all of you, but maybe this person cheated before, or you caught them lying, or somebody was not being very truthful, again, because you got the transparency card. And so, yeah, I'm hearing this is actually not for all of you, but I'm hearing that, again, on top of maybe you actually both needed to kind of like sit down, talk about it, kind of like a counselor, you listen to each other, you allow the other person to talk, like, okay, I'm going to give you, your space to talk, and I'm willing to listen. Instead of you, with the 5 of Wands card they got earlier, like the both of you, remember, the stoplight theory, there you go, all right, maybe, that would help some of you guys, all right? But yeah, another thing that I'm also getting here is that, somebody is going to be realizing because of some past event, because let's go back there again with a past returning, because of what has transpired from the past, and it enabled one of you to be kind of like defensive or guarded or suspicious. It's actually, going to make somebody feel in this connection like, wow, I need, to make this work. I need to double up my effort because it's not going to work the same way as before anymore, okay? Because in the past, maybe I was able to kind of like slid my way with, not being very truthful, let's say, because I'm hearing deceit, I'm hearing cheating, or not being very truthful. So, yeah, whoever this is would be realizing that it's not going to come easily as before anymore. That, for the situation to progress, somebody needed to double up their effort, okay? Wow, group number 3, your reading is very beautiful still, okay? Again, it's not to say this relationship is not meant to work, okay? Because it depends on you guys, all right? It depends on you guys, because this is a relationship between you and this person that you have in your mind, right? And it's your free will as well. If you can't live with it, if you don't want this type of setup, it's entirely, your decision, or it's actually your own free will to decide whether you're going to walk away at any time. You have that power to walk away at any time, right? So yeah, very interesting. So before we wrap things up, let me actually pull up a random message for you guys. Let's use this deck. Any message for group number 3, please? Okay, you got, look to your inner strength. You're stronger than you realize. Okay. So again, self-esteem. My gosh. And look at that. She's holding this crystal ball. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, and she has a lot of crystals on her head. Ooh, I wouldn't be surprised because, like what I said, a lot of psychics, tarot readers, healers, empaths chose group number 3. Okay. Yeah, so I'm actually also getting here where you read this intuitively, all right? She's holding this bubble, kind of like a bubble or a crystal ball, and there's actually a person inside. So, what I just heard, again, there's something about boundaries, there's something about respecting each other's space as well. And at the same time, yeah, like with the look to your inner strength, again, motivation. So maybe the both of you are each other's strength. Maybe if one person is like what I said, it's kind of like one person is extrovert, one person is introvert, the other person is really going to be trying to build this person's self-esteem up or confidence. I keep on getting that for group number 3. You are each other's rock. Okay, instead of working against each other, group number 3, if you're able to kind of like work on these issues that we actually identified, like what I said, you can make a great team. All right, you can make a really, really wonderful team. You can be each other's rock, and that should be the case. And especially in a very healthy type of partnership, you should be each other's rock and strength. And again, if I'm going to read this intuitively again, Spirit wanted me to go back, crystal ball, and then crystals on her head. So again, something about clarity, okay? Being clear with each other, being honest, open. All right, the last message that you got, it says here, stop taking life so seriously. Achievements and possessions will pale into insignificance when your soul journeys back home to the light from which everything stems. Oh my gosh, I love this message, all right? I love that it says here that, yeah, it's not significant, because at the end of the day, all right, all the things, material stuffs, achievements, that's gonna pale away for sure, all right, or that's actually going to be fading away. You can't actually bring it with you. And that's interesting, you guys, because honestly, just to share to you, this is something I really wanted to share just by looking at that message. I, again, got a lot of, I'm being bombarded with a lot of Bible quotes. I don't know if I shared this before on one of my readings, because me, I open up to you guys as well. But yeah, on top of repeating numbers, I've been getting a lot of Bible verses, which I love, all right, that's something new. It started last year, actually, just to let you know, guys, in which I'm being bombarded, not just by repeating numbers, but Bible quotes, which are very beautiful. It's very helpful for me. And just this week, crazy, I got this, Bible verse just by watching this, house tour. I was like, what are the chances? I mean, come on. Like, all of a sudden, there's this Bible quote that appeared while watching that video. And the Bible quote, if I'm not mistaken, okay, that was actually Mark chapter 8, verse 36, okay? And the Bible quote, it's kind of like this, if I can remember it correctly, because that was just recently. That was just, a few days ago. And it's quite similar to your message, group number 3. So I wanted to discuss that. The Bible quote, Mark, was it chapter 8, verse 36? So correct me if I'm wrong. But it's kind of like, the message is like, there's something about, like, even if you actually get all of these, achievements, even if you gain the whole world, all right, what good? There you go. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. What good is it for someone to gain the whole world, and yet forfeit his own soul? Kind of like that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, what good is it for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit his own soul? And that's a very beautiful, Bible verse. And that's something that we all needed to reflect upon, right? You can have all the riches in the world. You can have all the achievements in the world. But the thing is, when you die, all right, when you leave the meat sack, right, because the soul is eternal, right, you can't bring all those with you. Kind of like the message I got here. And at the same time, are you actually also living a good life? Are you actually following God's commandment, right? You may have riches and all that, but were you able to get those riches? Were you able to gain the whole world out of evil deed or evil act? Because you're forfeiting your own soul, right? You're selling your own soul. And I've known a lot of people who are like that, sadly. In fact, the people who have been attacking me, unfortunately, they're healers. Okay, I'm discussing this because a lot of healers chose group number 3. All right, and it's sad in my personal experience that they call themselves divine healers, and yet they've been, doing all of these spiritual attacks out of money. All right, like they also know how to use, black magic, or they also use that, but they're also healing people. So it's no wonder it got that yin and yang. So yeah, like they know both things, and some of them, they're doing it because out of ego, or because of money, especially around money. I've seen a lot of healers who were, yeah, it's just really sad that they are actually not using their abilities to really help anymore. They're not really making use of their gifts out of the goodness of their heart to help, because this is the service for the Lord, or for God, or if you want to call it universe. But yeah, they really just do it out of money. Okay. And so, yeah, quite interesting. Just to share to you guys. I know I've been blabbing, but I just wanted to share that because I suddenly remembered the Bible verse that I actually got the other day, which is quite similar to this, because it's true. If you die, you can't bring it with you. So make sure, as long as you're here on this earth, live a good life. Be good to others, all right? Be good to others. And be compassionate. All right, you're living a good life, because some people, they just base off living a good life on material things, when you can't even bring that back into where you should be when you die, right? So that's why I needed to kind of like also share that Bible verse that I actually just got all of a sudden. Yeah. Anywho, enough of me blabbing, but I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you some clarity. It gave you some guidance, and I will see you again next week. Bye. Love and light.